Once again, this is Earl Powell of EptoneMusic.com. I'm your official music production mentor. I want to talk about creating timeless material today. Writing songs, producing songs that doesn't have an expiration date. I think we've all heard songs from the past, you know, artists where songs were written back in the 30s, 40s, or 50s, and they're still around today. And we've also heard songs that were written a few years ago, and you don't hear them any longer. My preference is I like to focus on creating timeless content, and I like to say that there are two ways to write songs. You know, we can write from a head knowledge, which we can learn theory. We can talk about the sounds that producers are using today, or the subject matter and content that people are talking about today, being what's in. Or we can come from a place where I like to say it's from the soul. Now, when I say the soul, I'm not talking about soul music as a genre. I'm talking about the soul as a place. And in this place, I believe that there are an infinite amount of great ideas without an expiration date. And I would prefer to create from that place and bring songs into this realm that are timeless. I have songs that have been sitting on the shelves for a very long time, and people will hear them, and they, thought I wrote it yesterday, or they thought I did it yesterday, or they're still playing songs, discovering, songs that I've written back in the 90s. And some radio stations are now picking up on those songs, and there's an audience of people who still like that material. Well, those songs are written from a place where I like to say that there is no space or time, as Donny Hathaway would say, um, which is another great idea, by the way, because he's another great example of the material that he wrote. He says, I love you from a place where there's no space or time. So he's understanding the same thing that I'm talking about right now. Um, but when you tap into that place where there is no space or time, and you write from there, you're a dangerous person. Your music will forever live on. I prefer to write from that place. I prefer to create from that place. One of the things that I do to get to that place is I meditate on music. I meditate on what I'm about to do. I sit down and I listen and I study. I study my craft. I study the artists, the different acts that I'm working with. A lot of times when I'm working with an artist in the studio and we're vibing, a lot of times we might just be having a conversation. I never put pressure on my gift. I never get in the studio like we got to get this done now, now, now. No, the gift doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to sit and be worthy of being given a great idea. It'll come, but when it comes and when the energy hits the room, um, something happens that you can do in that energy, in that space, that you couldn't do before. Some of the most incredible songs were written in that space. I can guarantee you, if you talk to songwriters and you ask them what was in your head, you know, what season you were in, and what led up to that masterpiece, there's always something. Sometimes, songs just, they'll just come to you from out of nowhere, and then sometimes you have to, as I say, charge the atmosphere in the studio or in your work environment. But anyhow, I would love to get your feedback on that. Again, I love questions. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. This is something that I've been doing for years in terms of songwriting and record production. So I value your feedback. I'd love to pour more into those of you who are willing to or looking to learn more about the process and what it means, and some of the other techniques that I use to create songs from a timeless perspective. And if you want to hear songs that I have that's still in the marketplace, I'd be more than happy to send you links to those songs as well. But again, this is Earl Powell. This is your Tuesday tip of the day, and you're chilling with your official music production mentor. Until next time, thanks.